Have you ever felt a chill behind a smile? A friend congratulates you, yet something in their eyes whispers doubt. Praise can sometimes feel like poison wrapped in gold. In the chaos of modern life, where competition lurks in every corner, envy often hides behind polished words and false warmth. The Stoics knew this long ago. Marcus Aurelius warned that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If those thoughts are envious, their presence stains even the kindest gesture. Today, as you navigate offices, friendships, and social networks, recognizing falsehood and envy becomes not just wisdom, it becomes survival. This is the opening gate to a deeper journey into Stoicism, how to pierce through the illusions and see the truth beneath. Imagine working tirelessly for a promotion. The day finally arrives, you succeed. Yet instead of joy, a colleague leans in with a smile that feels heavy. You're lucky, they say, as if your discipline, sleepless nights, and persistence were nothing but chance. Their words cut deeper than silence, because envy cloaks itself in false kindness. Many of us have felt this tension at family dinners, at offices, even among supposed friends. Their applause doesn't lift you, it leaves you uneasy. The Stoics understood this human paradox. Envy and falsehood are as old as Rome itself. But they also left us tools, not only to recognize these shadows in others, but to remain unshaken, anchored in virtue. This is where Stoicism becomes a shield. 2,000 years ago, Stoic philosophers faced the same human struggles we face today: envy, deception, fleeting praise. Epictetus reminded us, it is not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Stoicism is not a cold philosophy. It is a fire that burns away illusions. It teaches us to see clearly, to separate truth from deception, and to act with integrity regardless of others' hidden motives. In this video, we turn to their wisdom. Each principle you'll discover is like a lantern in the dark, guiding you through the haze of false praise, selective support, and poisoned comparisons. The aim is not to condemn others, but to fortify yourself, so that no mask of envy can unsettle your peace. In the next chapters, we will walk together through 7 Stoic principles that reveal how to recognize envy and falsehood in others. From backhanded compliments to broken promises, from whispers of comparison to the siren call of flattery, these teachings will sharpen your perception and strengthen your inner fortress. By the end of this journey, you won't merely identify envy, you will rise above it. You will learn to transform suspicion into clarity, discomfort into resilience, and false praise into a mirror of your own strength. This is not just philosophy. It is a toolkit for living freely, with dignity and power, in a world full of hidden motives. Stay until the end, for the last principle holds the key to cultivating a garden of true allies. The first Stoic key to recognizing envy is hidden within what seems harmless: the barbed compliment. It is when someone praises you, yet laces their words with subtle poison. They might smile and say, "You're lucky you got that promotion," as if luck, not discipline, shaped your path. Seneca taught that true happiness lies in enjoying the present without being chained by illusions. Genuine praise uplifts, it strengthens. False praise unsettles, it diminishes. To the Stoic mind, clarity of speech and honesty are virtues. Thus, the barbed compliment is a betrayal of virtue. It reveals not admiration, but jealousy cloaked in polite words. Seneca once wrote, "True happiness is to enjoy the present, without anxious dependence upon the future." What he warns us of is clear. When praise is poisoned by hidden envy, it binds you not to joy, but to doubt. The Stoics believed language reveals the soul. Words that disguise contempt as kindness show an inner fracture, a mind that cannot rejoice in another's success. When we hear such barbed compliments, the Stoic path is to pause, to separate what is within our control, our reaction, from what is not, their envy. By choosing reason, we preserve our peace, refusing to let another's bitterness plant itself within us. Imagine ancient Rome. A young senator rises quickly through discipline and courage. At a feast, He is congratulated. Fortune has favored you. An elder says, smiling. Yet beneath the words lies the barb. Your success is not yours, but chance's. The young senator feels the sting, for he knows his long nights of study and loyalty to duty are erased in a single phrase. This story is not unique to Rome. It echoes in every age, every office, every dinner table. The barbed compliment is as old as humanity itself. Stoicism reminds us, when we sense this sting, we must not let it pierce our worth. The insult hides in the envy of others, not in the truth of our labor. In today's world, barbed compliments are everywhere, in offices, among friends, even online. They sound supportive, yet leave you questioning your worth. The Stoic approach is twofold. First, sharpen your perception. Ask, does this praise feel specific and sincere, or vague and diminishing? Second, hold fast to your own judgment. Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters. You cannot stop envy, but you can refuse to let it define your joy. Practice gratitude for your efforts, not their approval. When you root your worth in virtue, no poison word can shake you. Their envy becomes nothing but a passing shadow against your golden flame. The second Stoic principle reveals itself in the inconsistency of people, selective support. True friendship, Marcus Aurelius reminds us, means acting for the common good. But envy corrupts loyalty. Some people cheer only when your success benefits them, yet vanish when the weight of hardship arrives. Their support is conditional, their friendship fragile. Stoicism teaches us to value consistency, the steady presence that remains through triumph and trial alike. Selective support is not support at all. It is self-interest disguised as care. To the Stoic, virtue means showing up in truth, not only when applause is easy. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "What is not good for the hive is not good for the bee." In this vision of life, true friends act not for gain, but for the shared well-being of all. Selective supporters betray this wisdom. They appear bright when you succeed, yet dim when your struggles demand patience. Their loyalty is a mirror. They shine only when your light reflects on them. The Stoic response is clarity. Judge not by their words, but by their constancy. Those who walk with you in darkness as well as light embody true virtue. Those who disappear reveal their envy. Picture Rome at war. A commander, once praised for victory, now faces defeat. In his triumph, allies dined at his table. In his struggle, many abandoned him. Yet a few loyal soldiers remained, holding the line not for glory but for duty. This is selective support exposed. History teaches us that loyalty reveals itself most clearly in hardship. Those who vanish when storms arrive never stood by you. They stood only for themselves. Stoicism reminds us to measure others not by their applause in your rise, but by their courage in your fall. In our world, selective support appears when friends celebrate your promotion but withdraw when you confess exhaustion, or when colleagues cheer your wins but vanish when criticism strikes. Stoicism equips us to see the truth. Real support is not selective. Ask, does this person's loyalty shift with circumstance? Do they rejoice only when your success reflects on them? If so, recognize the pattern. Epictetus taught, freedom is found in how we choose to respond. Choose to invest in steady companions, those who remain when the spotlight fades. Surround yourself with these true allies, and you will walk with strength through both applause and silence. The third Stoic principle teaches us to look beyond words. The body betrays. Envy and falsehood rarely remain hidden. They seep through posture, eyes, and gestures. Someone may congratulate you, but their lips tighten, their handshake feels limp, their shoulders stiff. Stoicism urges us to sharpen awareness, not to obsess over others, but to recognize the truth behind masks. Epictetus taught that our task is to separate what is in our control from what is not. We cannot control another's envy, but we can control our discernment. By reading body language, we see through the disguise of false praise. Epictetus reminds us, the chief task in life is simply this, to identify and separate matters, so that I can say clearly which are not under my control and which are. Hidden envy belongs to them, not you. But the Stoic gift is awareness, the ability to observe the discord between words and gestures. A smile may mask jealousy, but eyes that avoid yours reveal it. A weak handshake whispers what lips deny. Stoicism doesn't demand paranoia, it demands clarity. By noticing body language, we refuse to be fooled by the surface and preserve our inner calm. In Rome's Senate halls, words filled the air with civility, but betrayal often echoed in silence. One senator would praise another's speech, yet his narrowed eyes and clenched fists betrayed envy. History shows us, the body speaks when the mouth lies. Even emperors like Marcus Aurelius learned to read the unspoken, watching gestures, noting eyes, discerning allies from pretenders. Today, this lesson is no less relevant. Whether in politics, workplaces, or friendships, envy often leaks not through words, but through restless bodies. Stoicism teaches, observe with calm, not suspicion, so truth quietly reveals itself. Today, body language is everywhere. Offices, conversations, even video calls. Someone may cheer your success, but their crossed arms or forced smile betray resentment. Stoicism arms us with discernment. Listen with your eyes as much as your ears. But remember, your power lies not in changing them, but in choosing your response. When words and gestures diverge, step back. Don't absorb their envy. Recognize it and anchor yourself in virtue. Epictetus said it clearly. It's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters. By mastering observation without judgment, you disarm deception and remain unshaken. The fourth Stoic principle warns us of a subtle poison, the endless game of comparison. Envy thrives when people measure their worth against yours, unable to celebrate without diminishing. Seneca cautioned that we are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality. In comparison, imagination breeds discontent. Someone may cheer for your prize, then quickly remind you of theirs, inflated to overshadow yours. Stoicism teaches that joy should never depend on being above another, but in being true to your own path. The poisons of comparison erode genuine connection, leaving only rivalry disguised as friendship. Seneca reminds us, we are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality. Comparison magnifies fear. It whispers that someone else's victory lessens yours. But to the Stoic, this is illusion. Each life is a unique path. Your triumphs do not diminish mine, nor mine yours. When friends turn achievements into contests, envy corrodes the bond. Stoicism calls us back to clarity, to honor what lies within our control, our effort, our virtue. The antidote to comparison is contentment, rooted not in rank but in reason. In ancient Rome, a poet was awarded a laurel crown. Another, consumed by envy, congratulated him but soon recited verses louder, desperate to eclipse the moment. History repeats. Comparison turns honor into bitterness. The laurel, meant to celebrate, becomes a weapon of rivalry. This pattern echoes today, in classrooms, offices, even families. The Stoics understood, comparison is a trap of externals, where peace is surrendered to vanity. By detaching from competition and anchoring in virtue, we reclaim serenity. The poet who finds joy in his craft, not in surpassing another, walks the true Stoic path. Today, social media magnifies comparison into a daily poison. Scrolling feeds, we see others' highlights and feel our own lives shrink. At work, a colleague's success may spark resentment instead of inspiration. Stoicism calls us to break this chain. Ask, am I measuring my worth by another's journey or by my own virtue? When we root joy in effort and integrity, comparison loses its grip. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself." Celebrate others without envy. Celebrate yourself without pride. The antidote to comparison is gratitude for your own path. The fifth Stoic principle warns us of the seeds of discord. Those who delight in gossip, rumors, and subtle divisions. Envy often hides behind whispered words, turning companions into rivals and weakening trust. Epictetus taught us that freedom lies not in controlling others, but in choosing how we respond. When someone sows discord, their goal is to fracture bonds and draw attention to faults. The Stoic path is to rise above gossip, refusing to water those seeds. In silence and reason, we protect our peace, and in discernment, we safeguard the strength of our community. Epictetus declared, "Freedom is the power to choose our response." Those who spread rumors may hope to trap us in their negativity, but the Stoic chooses differently. We cannot stop their words, but we can stop them from entering our soul. Gossip thrives only when fed with attention. Ignored, it withers. To the Stoics, virtue is found not in idle speech, but in meaningful action. The wise person redirects conversations toward truth, planting seeds of harmony instead of discord. This is how freedom is preserved, by choosing silence over slander, reason over rumor. In the Roman forums, gossip could ruin reputations faster than armies could conquer lands. One senator whispered of another's weakness, spreading seeds of doubt that divided allies. Yet Marcus Aurelius wrote that truth endures beyond slander. The Stoics understood, those who build power on rumors hold nothing firm. Like shifting sand, it collapses under weight. The wise Roman chose silence when tempted by gossip, preserving dignity while others destroyed themselves with words. This story still speaks today. Envy seeks to divide, but virtue unites. To reject discord is to choose strength. Today, seeds of discord sprout in workplaces, families, and online communities. A rumor shared on social media, a whisper in the office, both can fracture trust. Stoicism trains us to respond with restraint. Ask, does repeating this bring virtue or division? If it brings harm, the Stoic path is silence. Instead of fueling gossip, shift conversations toward honesty and growth. Build circles where encouragement replaces envy, where truth is valued above whispers. When you refuse to water the weeds of discord, you cultivate gardens of trust. In this choice lies true resilience. The sixth Stoic principle teaches us to beware the Siren's song of flattery. Unlike envy, which cuts with hidden barbs, flattery seduces with excessive sweetness. A colleague may call you a genius after a small task, or a friend may exaggerate your talents until their praise feels hollow. Marcus Aurelius warned against wasting time debating what a good man should be, better to be one. Likewise, better to distinguish genuine praise from manipulative excess. The Stoics remind us, truth is steady, specific, and sincere. Flattery, like a siren's call, promises comfort but seeks control. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." True virtue requires no flattery. It shines without performance. When praise feels inflated or generic, the Stoic recognizes it as a warning. Authentic praise names specifics, acknowledging effort and detail. Empty flattery is vague, excessive, and often tied to hidden motives. The Stoic response is discernment. Accept truth with gratitude, but guard against manipulation. Virtue needs no decoration. Its light is steady without exaggerated applause. In the courts of emperors, flattery was currency. Courtiers showered rulers with endless praise, not for truth, but for favor. History tells us of emperors blinded by such voices, led into arrogance and ruin. Yet Marcus Aurelius resisted, anchoring himself in Stoic practice, reminding himself daily that titles and honors were fleeting. His journals reveal a man wary of praise, determined to remain grounded in virtue. The lesson endures. Flattery is not love, but strategy. To the Stoic, the sweetest words may carry the most dangerous chains. In today's world, flattery appears in workplaces, friendships, even online comments. A new colleague may lavish you with praise not to honor your work, but to win your trust. On social media, exaggerated compliments may mask hidden agendas. Stoicism trains us to listen deeper. Is this praise specific or vague? Does it uplift or manipulate? Genuine recognition builds confidence. False flattery builds dependence. Epictetus reminds us, freedom lies in choosing our response. Accept truth with gratitude, but anchor your worth in virtue, not in others' excessive words. That way, no siren's call can pull you off course. The seventh Stoic principle warns us of those who try to diminish your light. Envy often appears not as open hostility, but as quiet cynicism, words that reduce your accomplishments to luck, timing, or chance. You were in the right place at the right time, they say, ignoring your effort and discipline. Stoicism reminds us that genuine friends celebrate with sincerity, while envious hearts attempt to dim what shines. Epictetus taught, "It is not that life is short, but that we waste much of it. Do not waste yours doubting your worth because others fear your brightness." Epictetus taught, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Wasting time on others' envy is one such trap. When your efforts are dismissed as luck, the Stoic response is not anger, but clarity. Recognize that envy speaks about them, not you. Virtue is the true measure of worth, not the approval of those who fear your success. The task is simple: to honor the labor that built your achievements, and to guard it from voices that seek to reduce it. In ancient Rome, a young general returned victorious from battle. As citizens cheered, one rival whispered, "He was fortunate the enemy was weak." Such words, meant to reduce glory, revealed envy more than truth. Marcus Aurelius knew this well. He wrote that the worth of a man lies in what he is, not in what others say. Across centuries, history repeats. People diminish what they cannot match. The Stoic lesson endures. Do not measure your victory by others' jealousy. Measure it by your virtue, effort, and the strength you built in the struggle. Today, diminishing your light appears in subtle ways. A colleague credits your success to chance. A friend downplays your hard work with sarcasm. Stoicism offers a shield. Anchor your worth in effort, not approval. Ask, am I doubting myself because of their words, or am I steady in the truth of my labor? The Stoic answer is to celebrate your achievements fully while remaining humble in virtue. True friends uplift, never diminish. By standing firm in gratitude for your path, you render envy powerless, and your light shines brighter, not only for you, but for others walking beside you. We have walked together through 7 Stoic principles, each one a lantern against the shadows of envy and falsehood. From barbed compliments to selective support, from the poisons of comparison to the siren call of flattery, we've seen how envy hides in words, gestures, and silence. Yet we've also seen the way forward, Stoic wisdom. It calls us to observe with clarity, respond with reason, and anchor ourselves in virtue. These lessons are not relics of Rome. They are tools for our daily lives, helping us preserve inner peace amidst modern chaos. Stoicism does not promise that envy will vanish from the world. It promises that you will no longer be ruled by it. The envious may try to diminish your light, but your strength lies in what is within your control, your choices, your virtue, your clarity. Seneca and Epictetus remind us that freedom begins not in changing others, but in mastering ourselves. Each time you refuse to let flattery control you or gossip divide you, you reclaim power. You stand not as a victim of envy, but as a guardian of your own soul. Now it is your turn to practice. This week, observe your interactions carefully. Notice when a compliment feels genuine and when it carries a hidden barb. Pay attention to loyalty, who celebrates your victories, and who vanishes in hardship. When gossip arises, pause. Choose silence over slander. Journal your reflections each evening. Or did I encounter envy today? Did I respond with reason or emotion? This practice will sharpen your perception and strengthen your resilience. The Stoics teach us that philosophy is not theory, it is training for life. Begin that training today. As we close, remember, envy and falsehood are as old as humanity, but so is wisdom. The Stoics gave us a shield of reason and a sword of virtue. Use them. Let no poisoned word or hidden glance diminish your peace. Instead, shine so brightly that shadows dissolve in your presence. This is the path of resilience, the path of truth, the path of the Stoic. Thank you for joining us on this journey. And remember our creed here on Stoic Miracles. Build your inner fortress, and the world cannot shake you.